to Finding Calm in the Chaos. I am Denise Sith, and this is my podcast. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of Finding Calm in the Chaos. I'm Denise, and happy Wednesday, my friends. Oh my gosh. Okay, so, I'm always getting into trouble. I actually had some really nice messages, the last couple episodes, considering the two crazy peeps, that sent me some really nice choice words. Other than that, I've been doing swell. What else? What's been going on since last Wednesday? Went to dinner for my anniversary, 13 years with Mr. Sith and I. We had we always go to the same place. It's called D&J Bistro if you're local to Illinois, Northwest Illinois, I should say. But it is a fabulous European bistro, and it carries some other stuff. It was kind of weird because we go there for the French food. They serve other things as well. They have an amazing wine selection. We don't drink, but people tend to look like they're enjoying themselves. They're always like busy, but we're never not able to get a reservation, if that makes sense. They have really good service, which is fabulous these days. We just go and we just take Pete now because we don't have a babysitter. Grandparents, my parents live too far for a dinner. It's just out of the way for them. And, in all honesty, it's just, Mr. Sith's mom is just not, physically able to do the job. You know what I'm saying? So she uses a walker and whatnot. So it's kind of hard for Pete with that. There's a whole nother story with that, but we'll leave that the way it is. So, Peter and I get the escargot. I always get the duck platter. So it's like a leg of duck on some risotto. And there's always a side of like scapes or some sort of, green broccoli scapes, whatever it's called. And, duck sausage. I totally blanked out. Sorry, I'm like distracted. I'm looking at squirrels. I'm like, squirrel. I'm better now. I'm always waiting for like the next episode. So my office faces out my front window and I have the whole wall is like windows. So I'm always watching when Buster's taking an extra interest outside, wondering whether or not he's looking at what to start his barking jag. Just a person walking right now. You never know. Never know. Could be just a bag and he's barking. He likes to be on this podcast. It's kind of like me. He likes attention. Yeah, I said it. Mr. Sith always gets the sweet bread. If you don't know what it is, Google it. It is delicious here. Peter and I get the escargot, and then we always get dessert. Peter always gets a sundae with his dinner. Mr. Sith got some sort of like raspberry cream, like Gillette almost. So like a little ball, beautiful ball with different layers on it and a nice jelly over it. And I always get the creme brulee because when you are doing something French, if you're not getting creme brulee, what the hell are you doing? I love me a good creme brulee. I'll order it everywhere and not everybody's created equal. So there's that. You know what I'm saying? But we had a nice night. We did that. We came home and just chilled. I think we watched a movie together. I don't even remember. We had back-to-back games last weekend, Friday, Saturday, both games. We were all so tired on Friday that we're like, do we really want to drive the 50 minutes to go see a game and then drive all the way home? Because it's a long day. It's like we leave at 4:30 and we don't come home till like 11:30. So it's a long night. We have fun while we're there, but we're like, you know what? I started off with me. How about you and Pete go and I'm going to stay at home and I can watch it on TV. Like we have a subscription service where I can watch all the AHL games and a bunch of other games. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it on Flow Sports and you and Pete go. But then Mr. Sith's like, hey, Pete, do you want to go to the game or would you rather watch it at home? And here's me. You're cramping in on my personal space. I didn't tell him that, but I was like, you know what? Here we go. I thought for sure Pete would say he wanted to go, but he said he wanted to stay home because he was tired too. And I'm like, ah! So the boys stayed home and turns out it was a fabulous game. We shut the other team out 4-0. They played like rock stars. They had their black uniforms on, and I have my theory that our hockey team, the Rockford Ice Hogs, they play better. AHL Rockford Ice Hogs, they play better with the black Screw City uniforms. Whatever. Then we go for Saturday's game, and we get our asses beat. Like, we're out skated, we're out defended, we're out. It was crazy. Like, crazy. So we lost. It wasn't horrible. It was like 3-1. Could have been worse. Could have been a shutout. You know what I'm saying? Could have been 4-0 like the team the night before. Except we won that. So it hurts to get shut out. And we're like in wild card playoff situation right now. And that's a big hockey thing. When you're like on the wild card, you just want to screw up the numbers for everybody else. But I honestly think they should just like not be a wild card. Just take the summer off, get a damn coach, and like just learn to skate all over again. We need a coach. We don't have a coach. I've talked and bitched about that in the past and understand that some of you don't really care about hockey and you've made that known to me. So there's that. And you know what I think about that? I don't care because I just talked about hockey again because I like it. All right. That was like an evil laugh. Sorry, not sorry. What'd I do Saturday? Saturday, I did some me time, peeps. I was so proud of myself. I made an appointment to get a facial. I have not gotten a facial in ages, but let me explain. I used to get facials all the time since I was 15. I went to the same girl, bless her heart. Her name was Brona. I loved her. She was an Irish girl. Well, her name's Brona. Hello. But she was wonderful. She taught me how to take care of my skin, how to take care of it as it aged. It was just wonderful. I learned everything from her, and I always had good skin as a result of that. I never really had breakouts when I was a teen. I never had like acne. I was just I'm really diligent about washing my makeup off, washing my face during the day. If it's dirty, washing my face in the morning when I get up. Yep, people are like, why do you wash it in the morning if you washed it before you went to bed? Oils? Sleeping, like, hello, pillows are gross. I hardly ever sleep on my pillow because I sleep sitting up so I can breathe. There's that, yeah, crazy, right? So, I'm really funny about estheticians. Now, if you like, what's an esthetician? An esthetician is someone who's trained to take care of your skin, specifically with facials and all sorts of other stuff. So they understand skin. I pick this girl because in her picture, I know it sounds stupid. I literally walked through the pictures of the girls online and who to me had the best skin. That's who I scheduled my appointment with. Was she the most experienced? No, she was not. She's 2 years in. Cool, right? That means she'll stay around for a while and I won't absolutely love her and then she'll retire. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. Because that's what happened to my Brona. She wound up getting married. And then leaving to go someplace else. And it was too far for me. And I was like, no. And then I tried throughout the years because I saw her for like 2 decades. I'm not even joking. And then I saw people spontaneously, like sporadically, I should say. And I couldn't really find someone I liked. And so I just didn't go and just did like extra care at my house. Well, turns out I have these 2 spots on my face. Sorry, guys. Yep, I'm talking about this. I'm so funny about my skin. So I have these 2 spots on my face and they've turned into bumps. I know they're clogged pores, that it's just congestion under the skin. And I can't get it. I can't get it no matter what. I don't want to split my skin open. I'm not a digger. I don't do all that stuff, right? I just need something or a little help in getting these because I'm starting to feel like Lemmy from Motorhead. If you don't know, Lemmy, Motorhead. Just Google it. I feel like Lemmy from Motorhead. Is it colored? It is absolutely not. Does anybody notice it but me? Probably not. I'm the only one, and that's all that matters. And now I have a second one that's congested on the other side. So I have one on my upper right cheek and the one on the lower left cheek, which is close to my mouth. So I'm always looking at it. I can't stand it. I tell her, listen, tell me the truth about my skin, whatnot. She's like, okay, so I have lupus. I'm a terminal cancer survivor. I've had lifetime dosages, chemo and radiation. And she's like, how old are you? And I'm like 55 and a half. I'll be 56 in October. And she's like looking at me like I dropped a bomb on her. And she's like, your skin looks fabulous. And I'm like, thank you. Literally the 4 words I needed to hear walking in the store because it's bad. Gave her the brief story that I just gave you guys. And she's like, I got you. So I can already see the improvement. She said my skin had normal congestion, but nothing like not having seen an esthetician for a facial. So that means I'm taking good care of my skin on my own. So kudos to me, little pat on the back because I was really worried about it. So she liked the skincare that I I love that used. And she looked it up. I loved that while I was steaming, she was looking it up on her phone to look at all the ingredients. She's very holistic minded. I love her. So she uses a different brand. And in all honesty, I don't know what the brand is. I just was like, I need something with not a lot of perfumes and not a lot of crap in it. And definitely no dyes because I'm sensitive. And so she told me all about her line that she uses. And I'm like, sounds like it's approved, but it is what it is. And so she put it on. It was very nice. And I actually really liked some of the natural smells that came from some of them. I didn't buy anything. Now, it's not to say I won't buy something in the future, like like some sort of like a retinol or something, because I don't use any of that on my face. I've never had Botox. I don't use any fillers. I've never used a retinol. I don't need any of that, I feel right now. However, I do feel that my skin is in this position. Like, do you hear me, ladies? That my skin is in this position where I'm starting to see that I've lost the suppleness. I've lost the dewy. I don't like dewy, but dewy means your skin is hydrated. You know what I'm saying? I do wear sunscreen, but I need to find one that is going to help me with like a redness corrector. So she gave me some samples on that. She gave me some samples to bring home to do some maintenance on, my motorhead spots. And so I'm going to go see her in a month. And I think I'm going to stick with her. I really liked her. Her name was Amber. I liked her, even though her name was Amber. I'm so sorry if your name is Amber. Most people I know named Amber are total assholes, which is probably what people say about Denise's. I know we're no nonsense. I know one other Denise, and she is completely no nonsense. Completely. And I love her. What else is going on? I'm getting my hair done this week. My freaking hairstylist is finally back. How dare she have a baby? Dudes, it's been since November. Since November, I have not gotten my hair done. Actually, the color itself looks fabulous. I don't think it looks that bad. I'm starting to really notice it now because it's like 1.5 inches. Which then I thought, holy cow, I feel like my hair's grown a lot. I love the length, but it needs to be shaped or it's got to go. That's where I'm at. I'm like, you know what? Normally I'll walk in and be like, yeah, I need a pixie because this is nonsense. But I think if she just shapes it again, because it's lost its shape, it's just like super heavy on top, like a mushroom. But then I feel like it's thin in the back and wispy, but then my sides are just like, it's time for a haircut. You know what I'm saying, peeps? It's time for a haircut. All right. That said, I caught up with all this stuff. That's all the personal things. Let's come back and talk about something and laugh a little. Let's talk about humor. A lot of people were like, you know what? You deal with things. They liked my political podcast. They liked that I kind of used a little humor in it, but was trying to, kept the emotion out of it and just kind of talked factually. And some of you liked it and some of you didn't. That's okay. That's okay. Am I going to do some in the future? Probably. Can we continue to have different opinions on those? Absolutely. I want that. And you know what else I embrace? People who reached out to me and was like, you know what? I don't agree with you on everything you said, but you said it so well. And thanks for that. Those are the conversations we need to have, my friends. Those are the conversations we need to have. That's how we bring each other together. Let's take a little break for our cute little sponsor, and we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Peter Sith, and I'm here to tell you about something you have to have for your kids. My new book, Popcorn World. Peek inside my creative brain and meet Dylan, an ordinary kid who accidentally finds a portal to his new world in his basement while looking for his lost soccer ball. Your kids will totally be able to relate to Dylan and all his emotions, trials, and big act of kindness in my story. I worked on creating this book over the summer with my awesome tutor, Dr. Peterson. She helped me guide me through the parts of my book, and boom, Popcorn World was created. Another cool fact, my mom does all the drawings. Trust me, these pictures and the story are super cool, but you can find out yourself by picking up a copy on Amazon, and it's available worldwide. So even if my family and friends in Slovakia, Canada, Scotland, and Italy can get a copy of Popcorn World. Don't forget the name, Popcorn World. Available on Amazon now! Let's make reading cool.
We're back. Hello, my friends. All right, now we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. We're going to talk about laughing, the humor. One thing I've noticed that is missing in the world today, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, friends, is humor. Okay? And Ann Wilson Schaaf said, and I quote, "I realize that humor isn't for everyone. It's only for people who want to have fun, enjoy life, and feel alive." Unquote. Amen, sister. Amen. We gotta laugh. Literally. So I did some research, my own personal research. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a laugh specialist. I'm super damn funny. So I got that going for me. People say I'm funny all the time. So I'm going to go on that experience. You know what I'm saying? There we go. But if you need logical reasons other than humor is just fun, like here's a few, right? Okay, number one, this is what's worked for me. Humor can help you get your message across in ways that people can remember more easily. Because a funny story helps embed a message. It literally makes people remember what you were talking about. Okay? It gets your message across. Okay? I'm telling you, it makes people stick. When you teach something and make it funny, people will remember and retain that information because they associate the laughter with what they learned. And learning and the laughter are anchored together. That's huge. You gotta laugh at stuff. People are more likely to listen to humorous material than to bland information. Perfect example, I don't watch the news, but I love my batshit bonkers Britain, Katie. I love her. If you guys are not following Katie Holmes, I don't know what you are. Is it Katie Holmes? I'll have to look it up. Like, I'm not really sure because I just call her the batshit bonkers Britain woman. All right, clearly. Katie Hopkins _ Katie, Katie _ Hopkins, Hopkins _ Love her, or just search Katie Hopkins and I guess you'll get it. You know what I'm saying? Hilarious. She brings in the craziness, insanity that's going on in her own country. She puts a humorous spin on it, has a huge following, and is educating people at the same time, getting the word out there. That's how you do it, my friends. That's how you do it. Because people who are more likely to listen to funny material than to bland material. They're going to be more likely to do that. All right, what else is going on here? Many singles list a sense of humor as an important attribute in potential mates. I mean, that was huge for me. I know people are like, Mr. Sith, this doesn't even say anything. Let me tell you something. If you know my husband, or you get the opportunity to meet him when we're out and about, we meet so many people on Facebook and the podcast. It's crazy. It's crazy. Because they're always like, people like, you're a celebrity. Do you feel like a celebrity? I like to be a celebrity in my own mind, in all honesty. I don't feel like I am. I'm pretty down to earth. I tell her like it is. But I do enjoy a little attention. I'm not going to lie. Mr. Sith, not so much. Not so much. And if you have an opportunity to have him tell you a dad joke, and if it's a good one, you'll hear him laugh. That was literally the clincher for me when we fell in love. It is obscene, and I love everything about it. All right. What else does laughter do? Laughter causes your body to release endorphins. We all know this. Oxytocin. Not oxytocin. Oxytocin. Pardon that blurb. Oxytocin. Okay. Serotonin, dopamine. These naturally reduce stress and pain. Okay, it boosts immunity. It helps us feel closer to others because we're sharing a moment. We're all laughing. Tell me you weren't with girlfriends or friends in general, and I know this especially happens with the ladies. I'm just going to say that. Do you ever just kind of look over at your friend and something was funny, but then you're both laughing so hard, you're crying and snorting, and you can't stop no matter what. And the only way it's going to stop is if you two just like dismiss yourselves for the night and go home. That's my kind of friend. I love that shit. I love it. I have laughed so hard with some of my friends that I feel like I could pee myself. That's a friend. Laughter also protects the heart. It burns calories and relaxes your entire body. Here's me. Why aren't I laughing more? I need to laugh more. When you're angry, I'm going to speak for myself. When I go into a rage episode, which has been quite a while since I've had one, for me, anything like more than 60 days is a lot. But when I'm not having like a huge rage episode, when I'm having it, I'm tight, I'm clenched, I'm super hot, I'm red hot. I'm not relaxed at all. I'm not happy. That's not doing anything for my body, but releasing tons of cortisol and making everything bad. Okay. But as soon as you start laughing, you're having an opposite reaction. Okay. You're reducing the stress, reducing the pain. You're boosting the immunity. You're lightening the feel. The room is getting smaller, but happier, not larger and angrier. If that makes sense. I try to use that analogy because a lot of people think that when you get angry, the room gets smaller. It actually doesn't, because I feel like when I have a rage episode, I feel emboldened. So it doesn't matter where I am. If you take me out of the room, I'm going to make that next room. I'm going to be emboldened to make that next room miserable. And if you take me outside, anybody who's near me outside, I'm going to be emboldened to also take them down into the rage match as well. But when you're happy, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to be right there laughing with those people. So the analogy is correct. It's fun to be around people who have a sense of humor. I love my funny friends. It's probably what they say about me. I feel like I know I'm funny, and sometimes I say things in humor that are very serious things in order to lighten the seriousness of it, but also to talk about very touchy subjects, but in a way that makes people feel more comfortable. Does that make sense? And it makes problems easier to deal with. Like I was just touching on, belly, they had this thing about belly laughs, that it literally, if you belly laugh, you can literally solve problems while you're belly laughing. It was something. I don't even know. Google it. Don't know. I don't know what I read. Half the time I find stuff, I'm like reading something that, randomly came up on my email it's just insane. Frank A. Clark, quote from Frank A. Clark. I think the next best thing to solving a problem is finding some humor in it, unquote. It's spot on with that as well, right? Improving a sense of humor can have benefits in just about every aspect of our lives. And that's why I really feel like humor got me through some really deep, sensitive childhood traumas. It got me through adult addictions. It got me through adult ramifications of those addictions and consequences. And it also got me to where I am today. So naturally, I feel like it is. There are other reasons that I would think you would need to improve your sense of humor about. Humor can be a skill, meaning you can learn it and get better with it through practice and repetition. How many other things? Like people think I'm not funny, but you can be funny. You could literally learn to be funny. If you're someone who would like to improve your sense of humor, right? Even if you just want to laugh more, even just listening to this particular podcast will help you. Just going through all these things. You have reasons for improving your sense of humor. Okay. I'm going to talk about an overview of about, I don't know. I have 12, then I have 15, and then I have 17, but they're all scratched out. So I don't know what I wound up going with. Let's see. I'm going to label them as we're going around. Okay. So one, ask yourself, you will look back and laugh. Will you look back and laugh? Ask yourself that. That's one. Two, watch comedy on TV or at the movies. I don't ever see horror. I'm not even into rom-coms at the movie anymore. I like me some just funny stuff right now. Okay. 3, notice the ridiculousness of everyday situations. Amen. Let me say it louder for the people in the back. Notice the ridiculousness of everyday situations. Okay. 4, stop watching the news. Okay. Stop watching the news. 5, be playful. Be playful. I'm working on this. I'm still working on the playful. 6, organize a comedy evening. Okay, I'm not saying go do a stand-up. However, if you want to do that, go do that. But it could be as simple as just getting on a Zoom with one girlfriend, okay, 2 of your favorite friends. Doesn't even have to be a girl. I just went with that. That's what I feel comfortable with. I like my girlfriends. And just say that it's going to be a night where everything's just light, funny, and that's what you're doing. Okay? 7, find and improve your unique sense of humor. What works for you? You don't have to be funny like me. You might not even find me funny. You don't have to be funny you don't have to be slapsticky, what's his name? Jim Carrey. You just be yourself. Find the humor in your everyday life and then go with it. 8, watch stand-up comedians. I watch Dry Bar on Angel Network, just saying. 9, smile. This is huge because I started smiling more at people about 5 years ago, and I'm really concentrating on doing it more as well, but with my eyes as well, because sometimes I was just not having it inside. So I try to give myself some humor and some happiness, and then I smile so that my eyes smile as well. Makes a difference, makes a huge difference. Okay. 10, add a humor item to your to-do list each day. What does that mean? Okay, let me explain this to you. Do something funny every day. If you want to eat a banana with peanut butter, like a little kid, cut it up and put toothpicks in it or a tiny little fork, like those little forks that you pull walnuts out. You know what I'm saying? See, that's funny just thinking about it. and you want to wear like pajamas and a crown or tiara and sit on your couch and watch, I don't know, let's say Daniel the Tiger. I'm just making stuff up, man. I'm just making stuff up. That could be your humor thing for the day. At the end of the day, when all the kids are, this is what I'm doing. I'm eating banana covered in peanut butter. Now I'm going to eat it with a little tiny fork or a little toothpick. You know, whatever works for you. That was so random. I don't even know where the hell I came up with that. 11, learn to tell jokes. You know what you can start with? Jokes for 8-year-olds. Peter's got a joke. It's joke book for 8 to 10-year-olds. He loves it. He loves it. And he thinks he's so funny. Sometimes he laughs so hard that it's hilarious. It's true belly laughs. 12, notice what's funny when you're out and about. What makes you laugh when you're out and about? What's cracking you up? Do more of that. Do more of that. 13, laugh at yourself. Okay, this one was super hard for me. Peeps, you know I was high strung. Super high strung. I'm a little strung still. Still strung. So I got to take it in baby steps. Just like everybody. I'm human. Okay? But laugh at myself. It's really, really hard to laugh at ourselves. But sometimes we need to. Sometimes when I'm having like a mental breakdown, I literally have to stop and be like, you are absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason out of anything but bad habit do you need to be going into a rage episode right now over this ridiculous thing that happened. Just laugh and laugh that you let that trigger you, that ridiculousness. That in itself is even funnier. Yeah, I work with what I got. 14. Oh, I did 14. So I said 15 through 18 or whatever. 12, 15, 18. I did 14. There you go. Examine your own ways of thinking and your approach to life. How do things work for you? See, for me, I feel like once we're really comfortable in examining our own ways of thinking and our approach to life, and we honor that, stick to it, walk on it, and then make sure that we honor everybody else's in boundary form, we're all happier people. We're all happier people. Okay? Ask yourself, are you going to look back and laugh? Think about it. If something goes wrong in your life, you're going to ask yourself, is this something I'll look back on and laugh about in months or years to come, whatever it may be, right? If the answer is yes, then why are you waiting months or years? Start laughing right away, peeps, okay? Think about how you can relate what's happening in a way that others are going to find funny. That's what I try to do on this podcast, okay? I try to take very serious subjects sometimes, needing help and therapy and childhood traumas and, political craziness and religious and spiritual. These are all heavy parenting. They're all heavy topics, marriage, but sometimes you just have to laugh about the situation. Okay. Watch comedy or TV at the movies. Okay. Or at the movies, whatever, even without literally consciously learning how to improve your sense of humor. If you experience it regularly, okay, it will make you more likely to kind of notice potentially humorous situations, okay? Because they're play acting, but if you see the scenario, you could be like, right? Okay. Let's see, who wrote this? Norman Cousins, okay? 1979 book, Anatomy of an Illness as Perceived by a Patient, okay? This is a quote. So Cousins remarked that laughing at the Marx Brothers films helped control pain, improve his illness, and helped with his stress levels. Okay. Now I'm going to quote, this is from the book. If you haven't read it, it's really good. It's called Anatomy of Illness as Perceived by the Patient by Norman Cousins. It's an old book, 1979, but it's an oldie but goodie. Quote, laughter is an antidote to apprehension and panic. It creates a mood in which the other positive emotions can be put to work too. When you laugh, you are more likely to see the bright side of a situation and have a more positive outlook, which ultimately promotes healing. This, my friends, is why I am 100% convinced, outside of the glory of God, that I survived a terminal cancer. Let me explain why. Because I was in a support group, and you have a remarkably higher percentage of recovery when you are attending a sports group, a support group. Okay? It is super, super important. Notice the ridiculousness of everyday situations. Many things are funny in some contexts, okay? In reality. Comedians are pretty good at finding the humor, like in ordinary situations, circumstances, stuff like that, okay? But they develop an ability to observe and exaggerate the ridiculousness of normal everyday situations. That's why you'll see a lot of comedians talk about highly sensitive subjects like politics, sex, relationships, because of this reason, okay? It just is, right? Oh, there we go. And I almost got through a whole podcast without some Busta. See? He was like agreeing with me 100%. See? I had to make light of that because I literally made almost 35 minutes without the dog busting in on the podcast. One day, I'm going to remodel my basement, and I'm going to have my own recording studio room so that I can just lock everybody out. Right now, I don't have a place to lock anybody out. I'm always around people. They're always looking, including the dog. There's that. So what I was saying was that if you notice the ridiculousness of everyday situations, you can literally hide so much better. You can deal with stuff, okay? Consider all the implications of what's going on, okay? And you could do it. I mean, some things seem funny at the time, and then you look back and you're like, well, it probably wasn't that funny, but that's okay. It just means it's quirky. You got a quirky sense of humor. That's okay. It's okay. And those are those twists on daily observations that are simple and quirky or weird, right? That's what comedians use as a basis for making us laugh. Stop watching the news. Why? Let me explain. Okay, we're going through these, but I'm explaining why so you can get a little more context. TV news is perfect if you want to focus on everything that's wrong with the world. Everything. And you got to factor in that we now have proof that the media basically tells us whatever people pay them to tell us. Okay. But think about this logically. If you watch the news every day, it would be easy to believe that there's nothing good happening in the world. In fact, if you only watch the news, you'd probably be too afraid to venture out of your house. There are millions of people all around the world creating delightful opportunities, my friends, doing good deeds, living happy lives, loving on Jesus, bringing in God, having lots of laugh, delightful children. Those stories don't and never and will never make the news each evening. It is designed to do so. There's a little conspiracy theory for you. It's easy to become obsessive about negative news and programs. And this I'm going to include social media. Okay. Social media. I spend less time on social media now. I have a window that I am allowed to, scroll through all the reels and whatnot. But as you can see, or probably know, a lot of stuff is weird. There's a lot of political stuff. There's a lot of that stuff. And you got to take it in increments. You have to know that it exists, but at the same time know that your life is going to go on. You know what I'm saying? You got to choose to be in the now. It's easy to become obsessive about negative news. Okay? Why do you think they're called programs? Think about that. News programs. Wean yourselves off this addiction if you want to live a happier life. If you want to improve your sense of humor, watch comedy instead. Be playful, okay? You don't need to be silly to be playful. Build an attitude, create a demeanor of playfulness, curiosity. You know how some people like always seem to have like that little spark in their eye? I want to believe this is me, but I don't think I have a spark in my eye all the time, for sure. And you wonder what they're up to. Like, do you ever look at somebody and be like, what are they up to? That's it. That's playful. That's playfulness expressing itself. Watch children for clues. Watch your kids like do stuff. And you look at their faces and you're like, you can like read it, man. They're like, what's he got cooking up in there? So Peter does stuff and he's building stuff sometimes. And I'm just like, or when he's talking about things or going through his imaginational things. And I'm like, Peter's gotten a wild imagination. But, my mom says he gets that from me. I know I did all kinds of stuff, right? Organize the comedy evening. Okay, again, invite your friends, do a Zoom, find a funny film, laugh, share a meal over it. Okay, ask them to all bring jokes to share. Okay, I'm telling you, laughter is contagious. And when we hear others laugh, we join in. And it naturally, literally makes everybody in the room go, after. And that's a good thing. Find and improve your unique sense of humor. A sense of humor is not the same thing as being funny. You don't have to be funny to have a sense of humor. Okay? Find the type of humor that makes you laugh. All right? And then read, watch, or listen to more of that. Okay? Watch stand-up comedians. Okay, like I mentioned, all right, many comedians have the ability to notice and exaggerate like the ridiculousness of basically everyday situations. When you watch stand-up regularly, you realize the elements that contribute to making something funny. Okay? Use what you notice to take a fresh look at the circumstances of your day-to-day life. You'll look at life, in a different way. You'll look at it in a uniquely funny way and discover ways that you can express yourself that makes people smile and not be miserable, or you're making yourself miserable. Now, am I asking you to just watch comedy all day and binge it on Netflix? No. But if you're going to choose to sit down and watch stuff, if you're constantly watching war and action and killing and famine and hunger and destruction and news and murder and news and murder, that's what your life is. Your brain is just inundated. You got to let it go. Take it in bits. Remember, everything is in proper rations, my friends. Okay? Smile. Again, the smiles, all right? There was some research done in Australia that showed that when people are smiling, they automatically speak more positively. Now, if you're thinking more positively, it's easier to see the funny side of life. Listen, Dwight D. Eisenhower, quote, "A sense of humor is part of the art of leadership, of getting along with people, of getting things done," unquote. He's got a point here, because when you can talk about very serious subjects, if you add a humorous twist to it, okay, you can get real serious. And sometimes I feel like people have lost all their humor. And I worked someplace, I believe this is a pretty customary experience in customer service, but I worked customer service for a while on my way, up the corporate ladder. And one of the things they used to tell us was to put a mirror above our phone or in our cubicle, so that when you answered the phone, you looked at yourself and you smiled and you said, "Hello," or "Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for calling so-and-so. My name is Denise. How can I help you today?" You change the way your voice is. You change your voice just by smiling. They hear what you see. If you answer the phone and you're not smiling, and I'm going to try to do this right now, okay? "Hello, thank you for calling so-and-so. My name is Denise. How can I help you?" It changes literally the way you speak, the smile itself. Okay. So there you go. Mirror yourself. Adding humor to your to-do list every day. Seriously. No, I'm not even joking. My friends, if you want to improve your sense of humor, give it some attention. Read a couple paragraphs from a funny book, watch an amusing video, learn a joke. Okay, it literally takes a few minutes. Cross it off when you're done, and then you got something done, right? And then remember to add it to the following day's list, because humor isn't a one-off event. Okay, do it every day. I'm telling you, humor, it's going to help everybody. We all need to find some humor. People are way too serious and have sticks up their butts today. It's horrible. Learn to tell jokes. Anybody can tell a joke. I'd suggest sticking to like inoffensive dad jokes to start with. Okay. You got to read a room. There's thousands of internet jokes if you do the right search. Okay. Find one that makes you laugh. Make it your own. Tell it to as many people as will listen to you. Okay. And then learn another one and repeat. Okay. Learn and repeat. Learn and repeat. Be careful. Because literally, like, Peter's addicted to telling jokes right now. He tells the craziest jokes. I was telling everybody, Peter told me I had to come up with a St. Patrick's Day joke. So he came up with one about a leprechaun. I forget what it was, because I'm not good at this at all. So I literally spent all day trying to find one. So my joke to him, and I remembered while we were having dinner, I was like, hey, what's Irish and stays outside all day? And him and Mr. Sith were like, crickets, right? Nothing. I'm getting nothing. And I'm like, patio furniture? Nobody laughed. There was a slight pause, and then Mr. Sith got it. It finally clicked, and I'm like, wow. I spent all day trying to come up with it. I got nothing. It's not deterring me. Now I just told you guys. What'd you guys think? Was it funny or no? Like, I tried my best, man. I tried my best. Notice what's funny when you're out and about. Okay. Road signs are hilarious. Street names. That kind of stuff. I'm trying to think. Google, like, what is ridiculous city names, let alone street names. Road signs, I can tell you right now, are hilarious. Road signs are the bomb. Google crazy road signs. Trust me on this one, my friends. Laugh at yourself. You don't have to take yourself seriously. This was a problem. I had issues trying to laugh at myself. If you're alive, you've probably done embarrassing or silly things. Okay. I've done more than my fair share. I'm just admit that right now. Okay. I'm going to put it out there. Oscar Wilde quote, "It is a curious fact that people are never so trivial as when they take themselves seriously," unquote. Seriously. I was like, damn, Oscar, that was a low blow. When you share those experiences with others, it not only gives them a laugh, but it shows that you're human. It's the perfect example is when you're outside and you fall and there was nothing around you to cause you to fall. Like if you slip on snow, you slip on ice, that's funny. It is what it is. Okay. We hurt ourselves horribly? Oh, you betcha. But when you're just walking and you trip like on a sidewalk, because you were like, I don't know, your left leg got shorter all of a sudden, it happens. Okay. And you just crack up because you know somebody looked out their window at the exact same time you did that. It happens. I can't even tell you the shit that I witnessed from my window in my office that is hysterical. And I noticed that literally 90% of the people that stuff happens to, they laugh because they know people are looking. Just saying. Okay. Examine your own ways of thinking and your approach to life. Exaggerate the frustrations, exaggerate the annoyances to find the humor and create an entertaining story. Okay. Because in the process of finding it, you'll improve your sense of humor and lose the associated stress. And that is everything, my friends. Okay. What unpleasant experiences have you had that you can describe to others in an entertaining way? And my stories about my childhood are like perfect. They're like perfect. I always tell funny stories about my dad or funny stories about stuff that happened to us, growing up with an alcoholic father and having like an alcoholic uncle and getting together with the cousins. And, next thing you know, you're all going to have they haven't talked to each other in months because of the last argument they had. But then they're drinking again. They start playing cards. You think you're having a sleepover at your cousin's. And then next thing you know, we always wore footies too. Remember footies? Like one hole pieces, but with the foot pieces in them with the little plastic on the bottom. We always had those when we had sleepovers together. And I'm starting to understand as an adult that it wasn't because we looked cute in them. It was because sometimes my mom and my aunt had to hustle us all together so quickly to get us out of there that it was easier to have footies on than to try to find everybody's shoes and get them on their feet. They didn't have Velcro back then, Pete. Okay? You either had sandals or you tied your damn shoes. And so all of a sudden, like, we're getting all snuck out, woken up in the middle of the night to get in the car because we're going by, Auntie so-and-so's house because, Uncle so-and-so and my dad are in the bushes, like, stalking each other with knives because somebody thought they cheated at the poker game that they were. It's just, and then you're all like running to get into, and then my aunt had like a tiny little car. So there'd be like 6 kids all piling in with my mom. And it was insane. It was like a clown car of kids in onesies with footsies. There's that. So there you go. That is a funny humor twist on a story that's really unpleasant. It is what it is because children say the darndest things too. If you have kids, they can be a valuable source of humor, period. Look at all the moms that do like, my kid posted this, my kid posted that. Look what my kid did. Peter does stuff sometimes, I want to die. It's so funny. I'm like, why would he do that? Why would he do that? The other day he was like, look at my belly, look at my belly. And he lifted his shirt and he was like pounding his belly like a drum and sticking it out exaggerately. So it was like super big. And then he got his sword from medieval times and he's like boom off his belly, boom off his belly, boom, missed the belly, went below the belt, dropped himself, and I'm dying because he literally just punched himself in the nuts on my coffee table. And I know I'm like, should be like, are you, and here I am literally asking him, are you okay? And I'm trying to like hold it together, but I'm crying. So I'm not, how like when you decide like, I'm not going to laugh, don't laugh. You talk yourself, right? Your body, you're like, don't you dare laugh. It's a serious, Denise, you're a mom. And then I'm like, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? And you're fucking crying. Okay. Because you have this emotional humor of just, you want to die laughing, but you're holding it in until you can run into the bathroom and piss yourself laughing. Just saying. And text all your friends. And then they tell you like the 8 things their kids did ridiculous that day. Those are the things that you need to find sense of humor in. Okay. Those are the things. So, that was fun. I'm just saying. Humor is the best way to get through life. Period. It's going to get you through almost every situation. Life is not that serious every day, all of the time. You don't have to be a drama queen to get through your day. Everything is not a tragedy in the making. All you have to see is the humor in a situation, and you can reverse the negative flow of emotions through your brain. You know what I'm saying? Just takes practice. That's all I got for today, friends. Until next week or Saturday, lean with kindness and lean on God. Bye.